for making it for Arka Venture Labs event. So the flow of the event is going to be like this. I'm going to give a brief introduction about Arka Venture Labs, and then we'll have Yash, who is partner in BDB and founding partner of Arka Venture Labs. He's going to talk about Enterprise 4. That's basically the new class of enterprises that are targeting the B2B market. And then we'll have a panel discussion from two of our portfolio companies, First Hive and Panaceller. And the last panel is going to be, we would have Radhesh and Dallas on the art of selling to enterprise. So that's going to be the flow. So I'm going to quickly start about what Arka Venture Labs. Before that, I'd like to introduce myself. Most of you know me, I guess, but some of the people who don't. So my name is Radhesh Kanumury. I basically run Arka Venture Labs. Prior to Arka Venture Labs, I had a long stint with IBM, where I started my career as a tech specialist. I went on to become a software architect, designing solutions for the enterprises, ISVs, and system integrators across the whole array of technologies, right from application integration to application monitoring to application servers, databases, to security, content management, portal. And it was a very good exposure on technology, and also used to lead a lot of these solutions towards sales closure. So it was a good combination of and exposure towards technology and sales. In the last 3.5 years, I was heading the startup initiative of IB Media. It was called the Global Entrepreneur Program, where I scaled this whole program from zero presence in the startup ecosystem in India to having more than 1,200 startups part of the program, and also leading to a large revenue for IBM Cloud. And I work with a lot of startups in helping them scale by providing a combination of mentoring, connects to the customers, and connects to the VC. So that's basically my brief background. Now, quickly about Arka Venture Labs. So the basic investment thesis of Arka Venture Labs is that you build your product, especially for a B2B company. You build your product here in India. The cost of building a product is much lesser as compared to the cost of building the particular product in the US. And also the cost of servicing the client is much lesser as compared to servicing the client if you have the team out in the US. Whereas the market is there in the US and Europe much broader and deeper, and the margins that you typically get out there in the Western countries is twice or thrice at least of what the margins you get. So fundamentally, the whole thesis is that it kind of makes sense for a lot of B2B startups to leverage this arbitrage between India and the US. So build it here, sell it to the US, and service the bank.
Solid background in the VC space, and
fundamentally what we kind of are looking out for. And basically the valuation is also much higher when they go to the US, and the probability of getting acquired is also very high. So Arka is kind of an accelerator fund, which is fundamentally providing three things. One is capital, second is mentorship. I'll briefly talk about what kind of mentorship that we provide. And third is basically the access and connects to the value ecosystem. And most important thing is the trust factor. When startups go and present or pitch to enterprises in the US, there needs to be a credibility factor, and that's where Arka basically is a US fund. The credibility factor comes in from Arka Venture Labs. So this was formed a year back with three anchor investors. We have these three anchor investors are Bloom. Bloom, all of you know, this is one of the consistently ranked as a top early stage fund by analysts for the last 4 years. Then we have Benhamu Global Ventures. They're a Valley-based fund started by a gentleman called Eric Benhamu and Eric Budua and Anik Bose. And we have the pleasure to have Yash, who is a partner in Benhamu Global Ventures. So he's also one of the founding partners of Arka Venture Labs. So that's the second fund. And BGB only invests in B2B startups in the US. That's basically their complete focus area. And the third fund is Emergent Ventures. They are also value-based fund, focus only on B2B investments. And this has been started by a gentleman called Ankur Jain. He's basically an Indian, lot of solid background in the VC space, and after that he started Emergent Ventures. So these three are coming in as anchor investors, and then we have raised fund from a whole lot of corporate people working in corporate and mid and senior positions in the Valley and in India. So we have a great representation from companies like Informatica, Google, Dell, Cisco, Aris, Microsoft, Byju's, Salesforce. So quite a few logos out there. So coming to what we provide in terms of the mentoring. So one is basically one-on-one mentoring. We believe that every startup is different, and the way they can scale the individual needs of that particular startup are completely different. And so it's super important to have that one-on-one conversations with them on different aspects of the business. It could be from their product features to the product roadmap, to product market fit, to the channel strategy, go-to-market strategy, digital strategy, identifying the ideal customer profile. So it's one-on-one sessions, and these one-on-one sessions are coming from myself, Yash, and Alok, Sanjay from Bloom Ventures. And we also have, as I mentioned, individual investors who are basically having expertise in their specific areas. So basically the investors, and we also have onboarded advisors. So Mitesh, who is also one of the advisors for the portfolio companies. So we have a set of advisors also who can advise the startup based on their areas of expertise. And all the three funds have a network of advisors also to basically we connect to that particular network as well. So this is basically one-on-one sessions. And then we have common sessions also where we invite an expert on digital marketing and giving a common session, or an expert on Amazon or Google infrastructure in terms of setting up, basically giving session on setting up the cloud infrastructure so that it can be scalable and also the cost is optimized. And lastly, we basically, as I said, have this set of mentors, advisors and investors who basically can assist the portfolio companies. So in terms of the areas, we are very much open in terms of the horizontals. It could be AI, IoT, big data analytics, AR, VR. It could be across business functions like HR, supply chain, or it could be as per industry verticals like energy, utility, healthcare, retail. So as long as it's a B2B focused company, focusing on the US markets, that's the basic criteria that we look out for, and the MVP should be ready. So that's fundamentally the basic filters that we apply. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the team. So I talked about myself. Yash is basically partner in BGB and founding partner. Yash is also on very avid follower of technology. He's got a strong product management background. He is on the board of companies like Protango, Tagnos, Macrometa, 60 Bytes, and he's passed out of Kellogg's University for MBA. And then we have Alok. Alok again comes with a strong product management experience. He's partner in Emergent Ventures. Before being a VC, he had product management stints in companies like Microsoft, Tempo.ai, which got acquired by Salesforce, Yumi, which did IPO in New York Stock Exchange, and Salesforce IPO, which again got acquired by Salesforce. So very deep and strong product management experience. And then we have on the advisory board Eric Benhamu. Eric Benhamu was the chairman of 3Com. After it got acquired by HP, then he started Benham Global Ventures. Then we have Sanjay, who is managing partner of Doom Ventures. And then we have Ankur, who is the managing partner for Emergent. So these are part of the advisory board. So in terms of, I mentioned a little bit about the kind of startups that we look out for. So we basically look out for as a B2B focused company targeting the US market. We are looking at a very strong and passionate team, and the MVP should be ready, and they should have a differentiation either in terms of cost or in terms of technology that should be clearly visible, and addressing a very large market. The total addressable market should be very good. And so basically in the founders, we look into the ability for them to execute and scale in that particular market. So we have made 5 investments so far. Rev Sales is basically a deed desk automation software. They recently raised their Series A funding, led by Matrix and Lightspeed. The second company we had invested was Primus Philip. We're going to have Ali joining in as part of the panel. Ali will probably talk more about that. So basically, there are point of sale applications with integration with omni-channels like Shopify and Magento and QuickBooks. And the third investment that we made is a company called Jovian. So they are basically the DevOps for machine learning, which allows data scientists to keep versions of the data models that they're developing and for allowing them to revert to the previous model at any point of time. Then we have First Type. We have Vishal from First Type who's going to join in. So First Type is basically a customer data platform which integrates data from a whole lot of different sources in an enterprise and creates one single unique identity for the customers, which allows marketers to reach out to those set of customers in the right channel, right time, right content. And then the fifth investment that we've made is in a company called Obviously.ai. They are founders, Indians, based out of Valley, have India operation. So they are basically a predictive analytics for business users or in the small and medium enterprises. We're going to be closing 2 more investments soon, and overall we have plans to make 20 investments in the next 2.5 years. So that's so our intent is also to create a very vibrant B2B ecosystem, and that's the reason we are doing such sessions where founders can learn from the sessions that we're organizing and then also network with each other and learn from each other. So that's basically why we had, we've been doing this for the last 1 year, and this is also one of those, and we'll be doing many more such events across the country. So with that, I'll stop.